Early on is a support for very young children who are experiencing developmental delays or an established condition, and that we are there to support that child's growth and development and to help the family to support their child.
The law that provides for early on is a federal law. It's the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, and it's a part of the law called Part C. So if you're a parent, for example, and you hear professionals or other people talking about Part C, they're talking about early on or early intervention.
First thing we do is have the child evaluated with the parents' consent, but I explain to them what my plans are, that the child may or may not have any developmental delays.
We develop what we call an individual family service plan, and that's designed after a full evaluation is done on the child, and the meeting happens in the home with the family, and we look at what is the best strategy to work with this family.
We talk with a team of different people, early interventionists, occupational therapists, speech therapists. We all come together on behalf of the family, and we let the family decide on what they want for their child.
Early on is designed as a family support kind of program. So you're not just talking about the child's needs or the needs of the infant or the toddler. You're also talking about the whole family's needs. So there are lots of family supports that are provided as part of early on.
Our services include a home visitor, which is an early childhood special education teacher that is assigned to each child and family. They come to the home to provide more parent training for the parent and teaching them ways and strategies they can help their child throughout their daily routines. We also have consultative services of a school psychologist, a school nurse, occupational therapist, physical therapist, and speech and language pathologist, and a school social worker that are all available as needed depending on the needs of the child and the family.
Service coordinator to me is a lifeline. They're the person who goes into that home. They're the person who knows the family. They establish the relationship that allows the family to believe in this program. The service coordinator is the person who is knowledgeable about the community and where those resources are, connecting the child, the family, to the resources.
So when I go into a home, I can identify sometimes things that a family may need other than just what is needed for the child. Things that would definitely support the growth and learning of that child. You may get in and find that the family has no resources for food, so you could connect it with the WIC office. We can look for dental hygiene and see if there's a need for that child for dental services. We often have children that have medical diagnosis, then the family is not hooked up with an additional insurance, which is Children's Special Health Care Services. Often do lead testing in the home, hearing and vision testing. If it's a newborn infant, maternal infant health program.
You are not alone in this journey, and that early on is here to support your child and your family and to make things easier in their daily routine life for you, and that it's our role together to figure out what the needs are for the child and the family and to figure out how to best support those particular needs.
Before I started receiving services from early on, I was very worried because, with that mother instinct, there's something wrong with my baby and I don't know what, and the doctor, how you just want to, doctor, what's wrong with my baby? But, I thank God that once my early on coordinator came, it's just like, whew.
I was like, he'll grow out of it, it'll be okay. But I felt I was in denial. And I didn't want to think there was anything wrong with my child because you always think, okay, my child is perfect. He's mine. After they came in, I was really relieved. I felt I have options and I was able to, help my son.
We got started with early on probably 2 weeks after Megan was born. We heard about early on right away from several sources and we contacted them and we had people at our house within just a few weeks after she was born. I think one of the most important things was she talked about what our goals were for Megan and Becca, what we wanted for them short-term and long-term, and how kind of the steps we would take to get there.
They come up to the house, they meet with us, they meet with the child, they do a physical evaluation on the child to see what they're capable of doing. We discussed doctors, which doctors they go to and for what, and what his diagnoses are. And based on all that, they come up with a workable plan.
As soon as I got early on in, it was within not even a month that I had other people coming in and doing evaluations and doing different tests on him. And I wasn't having to bring him to the hospital for the tests. They were coming to me.
I would say that having early on actually come into our home to provide those services was a huge benefit. Certainly, again, with any small child, there's an awful lot going on. And in the case of Megan and eventually Becca as well, there was a lot of additional challenges. And so having the opportunity to have them actually come into the home to provide those services in an environment that was comfortable for us, and certainly an environment that was comfortable for both girls, was a huge benefit.
I also think it's important for parents to know that they don't have to have a referral from a physician per se to access early on services, that if you have concerns about your child's development, you can go ahead and ask for an evaluation to be done just based on your own concerns.
In that evaluation, we look at 5 developmental areas. And we look at the physical development, we look at cognitive, communication, self-help, and social emotional skills.
No, it did not cost us anything. That's another thing that was so surprising is here she was getting physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech, and we had a teacher, a coordinator coming in and keeping everything organized, and it was all free to us, and it was just, we couldn't believe it. It was a really good experience.
Go through the evaluation process, find out where your child is developmentally, whether or not your child really needs extra support to try and reach the growth and development in terms of that's expected for his or her age. And don't hold back. Don't worry, but don't wait. Make sure that you just call us and we'll be there to support you.